LEC drama?
You know, but the 2-0 sort of trend
What happened, bro?
continues, and yeah, fantastic
So,
series.
LEC put out
Big
this
sort
schedule
of
update,
definitely, catching a lot of
which...
people's attention.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
I mean, chat's gonna have to inform me on this, about what's properly going on. The LEC schedule update. Saturday will be KC vs G2. Sunday will be Vit vs MKOI. We've swapped the matches for the first weekend of the LEC Spring Playoffs to better accommodate the team's schedules. So, I see what Lincest is saying. He's saying, we are first place. Why do we have to play on the 24th? And if we win, we have to play on the 25th. It's the first seed. How does that make sense? Why don't we get to play first? Why does the third and fourth seed get to play and have a day break and then play? Which I agree with. So why did they move the schedule is what I want to know. Why did they move it? They moved it because there's a soccer event on Sunday. A soccer event this Sunday in France, and also the RLCS in Paris. What do you mean? I don't get it. What is the soccer event? What is this? On the 24th of May. Okay, so on the Sunday, there's an event in France where the sidemen will play against in a Twitch event. Okay.
Let's take a look at the rest of our pummets here on the Korean side. 4 T1s, 2-0.
Is Kameto like a part of it?
Yeah, I'll give him. I'll give it. He ranks above me. You know, I'm okay saying that. Faker does rank
So Kameto's.
to no one's surprise.
So I see. So basically, the reason they've done this is they've put KC and G2 on the Saturday because Kameto won't be able to cover the game on the Sunday because he has to play in a football match or what, or he has to like cover a football match. I get. Okay, I feel like there's a lot of like, I don't know how blown out of the water this is gonna get, but I kinda see both sides. Like, as KC, it's kinda Kameto can't cover his team's game because he has a fucking thing to do, which I get it. But on the contrary side, it's like the idea of competitive integrity and being able to finish first should merit advantages, and having the advantage taken away from you kind of sucks. I mean, KCG2 is the marquee matchup, right? And having it on Saturday and then having no Kameto stream KC versus G2 in a BO5. Yeah. This guy, okay, first of all, I just want to fucking shit talk this guy. Why are you commenting this? I don't get why you comment on these things. Okay, so something that's happening in the LEC that I cover for the last 6 years. You're wondering why I cover it. What should I cover in your mind if I'm not going to cover this? What should? Because I need to why is your bitch ass writing that? Say it. Say tell me if you're rage baiting or not. Chat, I'm changing the world. I'm changing the chat. Every rage baiter just gets called out. So on the one hand, you have two options. Keep the schedule the way it is. KCG2 viewership is a lot lower because Kameto's not live, and you maintain competitive integrity. Or you move the schedule, get Kameto involved because he can now stream on Sunday, and lose competitive integrity. I would say the best way to argue this is let's go back to old splits in the last few years and see if the first seeded team, if you go back to last year and the year before and the year before that, and you tell me that the first seed team plays first and they get a day break and then they play their match, if that checks out, I think it's wrong. If there has been splits in the last 3 years where the first seed plays second with a 1 day break, then I see absolutely no problem with this. That's my take. So let's do some research. LEC. That's how I see it. I think the competitive integrity, that's fair. That's pretty fair, I think. So who played first? How the fuck do we check? Versus playoffs. Who was first in versus playoffs? In the regular sit. I feel like Liquipedia doesn't really show it very well. MKOI, Vit, Fnatic, Na'Vi played. These teams played Monday, Tuesday. What the fuck? Did our playoffs start on a Monday? So the first place team was KC in Winter Split. The second place team was Na'Vi. The third place team was Vitality. Okay, this split doesn't really check out very well because I guess there's 8 teams, so no one plays the day after. Okay, we go to 2025. 2025 spring. Perfect. KC finished first, Fnatic second, Movistar Koi third, G2 fourth. Easy. Look at KC MKOI. Oh, I see. Oh my god, I'm so stupid. Sorry, I've misread this so hard. So on the Sunday, the 25th, KC played against Koi in a best of 5. And the winner played the day afterwards versus G2. And G2 versus Fnatic was the day before. But in the spring season, KC finished first. So they chose... Wait, how did it work back then? Did they choose between 3rd and 4th? Is it the exact same as this year? It is, right? I presume they picked Koi, right? So they picked Koi. Fnatic drew G2. Fnatic played first, they played second, and the winner played... I see absolutely zero problems with them changing it. Then I see zero problems. Absolutely zero problems. This happened last year. The exact same thing happened last year. They've just copied last year. The only thing that I think is worth discussing is if you finish first seed, should you get this advantage, yes or no? And if the answer is yes, then this is something they should implement. Because this clearly hasn't been implemented. I personally think, if you finish first seed, you should get to choose your opponent and play first. Because then you get more time if you lose or if you win, whatever it is. That's just how it goes. But I think it's impossible to argue that what they did with the changing of the time is wrong, because the exact same thing happened last year. Literally the exact same thing. So I think this is a flaw in competitive integrity, sure. But this happened last year. So this is... bro, I would fucking change it as well. If KC can't stream it. Yeah, I get it. I get it. To me, it's another nothing burger. It is... I think the whole discussion... I mean, I feel bad for Vitality because they're getting fucked over because they should have been told earlier. Sure, I get it. But it's just a nothing burger. It's zero necessary drama. But, yeah. I think Riot, the only thing they should do is next time there's playoffs at the start of summer, they should just put out a post and be like, from now on, the fucking... first place team will play first to ensure that they get a competitive advantage for finishing first. They should just put that post out and they should make it better for the future. If they want. If they don't want, then you have more flexibility in scheduling and first seed gets the pick and that's your only advantage. But I think they should do that. Because that makes first place a lot more important. And... worth getting, I guess. But yeah, this whole drama is a nothing burger. I think it's completely makes sense to change the schedule. Alright, let's fucking do something else. What else? Denmark appoints its League of Legends Esports Nations Cup. Wunder and Carlsen top. Seed Boy and Wald Joe jungle. Cap Sven does. Actually, this looks a lot less scary than I thought it would be. This looks actually... I mean, they have caps. But, I don't know, man. I think jungle support is so important. And jungle support's gonna be... like, if this jungle support plays against, like, the French team or the Spanish team, like Elyoya Alvaro or fucking Skewmond Stent or some shit, I just don't see it. Can Caps really carry through jungle supportive? I think Team Denmark might not be that strong. It's crazy, because Team Denmark 8 years ago would have fucked everyone up. It would have annihilated everyone. You'd have 2019 Wunder. You would have Caps. You would have players like Svenskeren, Santorin. You'd have Sven. You'd have players like Björksen. You'd have players like fucking... you could put him in support. You'd have Broxa. You'd have Kobe. You could play with so many players. I literally think you could just put Caps support and Bjergsen mid, or Bjergsen support, Caps mid. You could put Kobe support. It would kind of cook. Attacking minions will no longer put champions in that minions aggro priority list according to patch 26.1. Attacking minions will no longer put champions. Attacking minions will no longer put champions. Really? But there's wave manipulation things you can do with hitting minions when you hit the range creep and shit. Why did they change that? I don't get it. That's such a random thing to change. It's for newer players. Bro, how is... Okay, I'm not gonna lie. If the argument is we're gonna change wave manipulation to make it easier for newer players, that's the biggest steaming pile of shit ever. If that's the reason. You know why? Because the first 100 hours of barrier for entry for newer players isn't fucking wave manipulation. It's the 180 champion spells that they need to learn, how the fucking game works, and what the limits of laning are. It's not wave manipulation. That's like the 1000th hour of League of Legends that you need to learn. Like, bro, this is like the most irrelevant thing for a newer player, in my opinion. I hard disagree. It's so when you hit the minions, you don't get aggro when it comes to trading in lane. Bro, trading in lane, what are we even saying? What are we even saying? The first 100 hours of the game, you don't even know where your champion is. What the fuck do you even know about minion aggro? Like, minion aggro for me in the list of things to know if I'm a new player is so far. Nah. What are we doing? We cannot change wave manipulation and say it's for newer players and then release a skin called Spaghetti a la Vel'Koz that runs around looking like a fucking freak. Nah. Bro, what do you mean? Talk about barrier Frenchie for newer players. What about spell animations? What the fuck is it fucking spaghetti cheese ball throwing spells at me gonna look like? Not gonna lie, this looks straight fire. What? What the hell's my pasta doing? Nah, hell no. You know I'm queuing up and playing that champ and one-shotting someone with ult and saying pasta la vista. Come on now. I'm kind of proud of that one. So you don't think the minion manipulation thing is good to change? No, I think the minion manipulation thing is useless to change. If you want to make it easier for newer players to, like, learn the game, I just think there just needs to be... Like, look at Marlon, okay? Marlon is the best example that we have of a newer player. He didn't know where his champion was running. He tried to hit his own tower. He ulted the ground. He has... I think he's a good example because he's not... He is a gamer, but he's not a full gamer. So how do we make it... I think the best thing to do, if you want to make it easier for newer players, is let's take Marlon. What can we do that makes it so Marlon can download League, take 10 minutes of his time, and go into a game and understand what the fuck is going on around him? He's not a gamer. I swear I've seen Marlon play games. And if there's a tutorial that does that, fair enough. But I don't know. I haven't played the tutorial or know if it's even good enough to do that. Because then, once you kind of grasp the idea of towers, inhibitors, 5v5, minion, like, last hitting, jungle clear pathings, killing the Nexus, what dragons do, Baron, what does Baron do. After you kind of get that stuff, like that big layer of cheesecake that takes about 50 hours to kind of grasp, I would say, about all of it. The next layer of the cheesecake is a mixture of working on your own individual skill to make it so you can start last hitting better, fine-tuning those things, like last hitting or, you know, buying the right items and all that stuff, but also learning what the fucking champions do. I have a friend who is immortal in Dota, I was playing a lot of WoW with him. And he just moved over to League. He's level 29. He's a Neferi mid lane one trick. He's about 80 hours in. And he says he's just so annoyed because there's so many champions he doesn't understand. He said to me, what was it he said? He said, I played against a demon dog that was spitting at me. And I had no idea what I was doing. And I was like, do you mean Kog'Maw? And he was like, oh yeah, that was the name, Kog'Maw. And he's almost level 30. Yo, the barrier for entry to understand all the champs is big. I don't know what Riot can do to make it easier. But yeah, I think minion manipulation ain't something that they have to worry about for a while.
2023, I guess it was.